Hey friends, welcome back. In today's video, it's all about the food. We're stopping at 3 restaurants and checking out to see what's a hit and what's a miss. Is it a tourist trap or a genuine delight? Let's find out. Starting off the day, we were recommended by a local to give Sea Smoke a try. Located just off the waterfront boardwalk, Sea Smoke is a year-round upscale waterfront restaurant offering Asian-inspired seafood, land-based dishes, and cocktails. Later on in our trip, we learned that this spot is more of a tourist destination, mainly known for its scenic patio, where each table has its own fire pit. The menu features items like Black Mamba Roll and Surf and Turf, clearly catering to diners looking for a stylish, elevated dining experience. We were a little taken aback when we arrived because the in-house menu didn't match up with what we seen online. Based on the menu alone, we decided to give it a try, but quickly had to pivot once we saw the prices. They're very expensive and honestly hard to justify. The main thing we enjoyed here were the drinks. Mike ordered the 9 Locks IPA Frig Off, a fun nod to Nova Scotia-based show The Trailer Park Boys. We always loved 9 Locks glasses for their cheeky phrases on the back. The beer itself was hazy, tropical, and juicy with fruity notes. I opted for their Happy Hour Rosé, which was discounted at $7 a glass. The alcohol flavor was extremely strong enough to give me actual goosebumps. It wasn't the best rosé I've ever had, but it was fine for the price, I guess. Since the menu wasn't what we expected and we couldn't justify a full meal, we decided to try one shareable, the salmon and smoke. This dish is described as sweet and salty, crispy and savory smoked salmon, leek and cream cheese stuffed cocoa butter cigars and pistachios. The dish had a lot going on. The chocolate cigar, which even had edible glitter infused into it, was pretty sweet, and paired with pistachio, it almost felt like I was eating a dessert. Then you're hit with this cream cheese, onion, and raw salmon filling. It was a confusing combination. We also don't recommend using the dipping sauce the way we used it because it made everything very salty. Our server mentioned that people either love this dish or hate it, and for us, it just wasn't it. The best part of this plate was actually the cheese crisp that was meant more for decoration. And at $18 for 2 pieces, it felt overpriced and heavily reliant on aesthetics rather than flavor. That said, our server was fantastic, genuinely the best part of the experience. He was kind, helpful, and even gave us recommendations for other spots to check out during our trip. If you're looking for a unique waterfront experience with fire pits and great service, we'd actually recommend Water Polo, which is just around the corner, and we go into more detail about that in a previous video. Our time at Sea Smoke was just okay. But we totally get the hype. The waterfront view is stunning, the fire pits at each table are super cozy, and their sushi menu is definitely tempting. That said, the prices here are way too high, especially compared to the portion sizes and the experience we actually had. It definitely leans more into the tourist trap instead of a can't-miss dining spot for us, which is why we had to give it a little bit of a lower rating. Next up is a Halifax classic, the Bicycle Thief. This spot books up fast, so making a reservation is highly recommended. Because we could only snag a pretty late reservation, that's actually how we originally discovered water polo. Since water polo was right across from the Bicycle Thief, we decided to give it a shot to try some drinks and wait for our table. The Bicycle Thief is known for North American food with an Italian soul, offering a mix of Italian, Nova Scotian, and North American cuisine. It has an old school meets new school vibe, a large patio, an extensive wine list, and a consistently busy upscale atmosphere. The name of the restaurant is inspired by the classic 1948 Italian film Bicycle Thieves. The restaurant opened in 2011 and has since won multiple awards for Best Restaurant, Best Wine List, and Best Italian Dining. For drinks, Mike ordered the Ruby Margarita, made with 1800 Blanco tequila, Aperol, rhubarb, honey, and lemon with a salted rim. It was very tequila forward with a nice tartness and sour notes. A very enjoyable drink. I ordered the Gold Mine made with Johnny Walker Black Label, Hennessy Very Special, passion fruit, lemon, ginger beer, and Angostura bitters. The ginger beer added a nice bite, but despite being told you couldn't taste much of the alcohol, that was all I could taste. It was still enjoyable, but not my favorite. We were given complimentary house-made focaccia served with butter, rosemary seasoning, and roasted red pepper hummus. The bread was pillowy, buttery, and perfectly seasoned, and the hummus had a strong roasted red pepper flavor, clearly house-made and very tasty. For the mains, I ordered the linguine alle aragosta with local lobster. The pasta wasn't house-made, but was cooked beautifully al dente. The lobster was sweet and buttery at first, but as I kept eating, some pieces became quite rubbery and hard to chew, which was disappointing given the price. The flavors were still lovely, but the texture issue was a bit of a letdown. With that being said, I still found this dish to be quite delicious. It was just a bit saddening to have the lobster not be the texture I was looking for, which did play a role in how I did think about this dish as a whole. I found this delicious, and most of the lobster was quite juicy, but with it not being house-made pasta, and with those other factors, I did find this dish to be a little overpriced. Mike ordered the gnocchi alle matriciana with guanciale and fresh burrata. The burrata was fresh and well seasoned, the sauce had a slight spice to it, but it balanced out well with the sweet tomatoes. And while he wished there was a bit more guanciale, the dish felt thoroughly prepared. He did, however, get serious heartburn later on in the night. For dessert, we shared the butterscotch caramel cake with toasted pecans. And the kitchen even wrote happy birthday on the plate for me, which was really sweet. The cake was unreal. Moist, decadent, rich, and packed with butterscotch flavor and toasted pecans. It's very sweet, so it's definitely meant for sharing, but absolutely one of the best cakes we've ever had. We loved our time here at Bicycle Thief. While it's a bit of a pricier spot, we did find most of the prices to be quite justified. The atmosphere is classy, the service is great, and the waterfront setting really elevated the experience. It's a wonderful place to dine, just make sure that you book ahead of time. Our final stop was McKelvie's, formerly known as McKelvie's Delicious Fishes Dishes. The moment we walked in, it immediately felt like a chain restaurant. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but nothing particularly special. For drinks, I ordered the Blue Lobster Lemon Lime Vodka Soda. This was light, refreshing, and tasted like a sparkling lemon water. Mike ordered the Propeller Galaxy IPA. This was really juicy and hazy, and had a grapefruit forward flavor. He gave it a solid 7 out of 10. After looking walking through their menu and kind of gauging how we were feeling on our hunger scale, we decided to grab a few shareables. We ordered the honey glazed cornbread served with regular butter and a chipotle butter, and we also decided to go with the burrata. The cornbread was really sweet, more honey forward than traditional cornbread. I didn't love it with the chipotle butter, as the flavors kind of fought each other for me, but Mike really enjoyed it. The regular butter worked best, though the portions were a little too small. The burrata comes with fresh tomatoes, arugula, grilled focaccia, and balsamic. The burrata unfortunately was lackluster. It didn't seem fresh, the exterior was quite rubbery, and overall the dish was quite bland. There was no salt and pepper on the table originally, which would have helped right from the jump, and even after asking for it, the dish still fell flat. The bread was nice, but that's kind of all I can say that was positive about this dish. Overall, our time here was pretty mid. Nothing really wowed us. From the decor to the menu, it was very middle of the line for experience. It's a place you go to if you're just looking for a quick bite with no real big expectations. But it's pretty high rated, so entrees must be something more to talk about. Maybe we just went on an off day, but for us, we found this to be quite a miss. Alright friends, thanks for watching another food-packed Nova Scotia adventure. Do you agree with our takes on these spots? Tourist traps or genuine delights? Let us know down below and we'll see you in the next one.